Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday to all of you. It's Naveen with Naveen's Cuisine. Hope you're having a great weekend. Nice and sunny. And I'm in the mood of making a Greek dish since I just came back from a beautiful trip to Greece. And of course, one of their national dishes is moussaka, which is basically an eggplant casserole. Very similar to lasagna, except it's eggplant versus noodles. Anyway, so we're gonna pick up some, you can call it elephant eggplant, Italian eggplant, the big ones. And the best way to cut it and peel it is to take a little slice from the bottom, a slice from the top. That way it can sit down without being rolling around and hurting you. And you're just gonna go from the top to the bottom. Nice and easy like that. I'm gonna peel it. Try not to peel a lot of the actual eggplant. We're just trying to take the skin off. So a nice sharp knife would be great for that. Greece was wonderful. Its people is wonderful. Its food is amazing. Simple life, simple ingredients, fresh fruits, vegetables, herbs, and of course olive oil. You cook everything with olive oil almost, except for sweets. There's olive trees everywhere, mainland, island. Fantastic for the skin. There's a lot of olive oil soap. Wonderful for the complexion. Wonderful for the heart. Wonderful Mediterranean food. Mediterranean countries always cook and use olive oil. From France, Portugal, Italy, of course, Greece, then all over North Africa and Lebanon and so forth and so on. Mediterranean countries. It's great qualities, it's great characteristics, and of course different grades. There's the highest grade of olive oil is the virgin olive oil because it's cold pressed. So we're gonna continue peeling. Moussaka usually is deep fried, and you can do it, you can fry it with the skin on. I don't like to fry it with the skin on. Actually, I don't like to fry it, period. So I do it healthier and less fat. I slice it, brush it with olive oil and seasoning, and bake it in the oven until nice and golden. So you don't have that oil dripping all over the place. Healthier, cleaner. No splashes all over the stovetop. Less calories. So right now I got my oven going on at 400 degrees. I have some, the meat sauce is basically bolognese, which I made a batch of a couple of days ago, and it's on my YouTube channel. Appreciate it if you can go to my channel, subscribe, like, share. It would all be very helpful. Ask your neighbors, your husbands, your daughters, your sons, significant others to sign up on Naveen's Cuisine. Now we're gonna slice it. I would say about a third of an inch. Try to be uniform so they all will cook at the same time. If you have more time, you can poke the eggplant with a fork and sprinkle with some salt and let it sit there in a sieve for about an hour. That way it releases the water in it, the fluid. So with a fork, I'm gonna puncture just a couple of, maybe three, 4 punctures across. In this case, it helps the olive oil and the seasoning penetrate to give it a nice golden look. So I have 2 trays, 2 sheet pans. I don't like scrubbing, so I'm going to put some foil at the bottom. In a bowl, I have some olive oil, I have some garlic powder, some salt and pepper. I'm going to brush the top of the eggplant. So, Kalimera means hello. Kalistera means good evening. So Kalimera is hello and it's also good morning. Kalistera is good afternoon, good evening. And a lot of people, of course, like us foreigners, will say calamari instead of Kalimera. And of course, they laugh at us, but in a polite way. Now I'm going to turn it upside down and repeat the process. Again, olive oil mixed with garlic salt, cracked black pepper. It should take about 35 to 40 minutes to brown. So halfway through, check the bottom, and if it's nice and golden, then turn it over so it continues cooking until nice and golden brown. One down in the oven, 400 degrees. So it took about 45 minutes, all nice and golden, ready to layer. All right, we are back to making moussaka. The eggplant were sliced, brushed with olive oil and seasoning, and now it's time to make the bechamel sauce. I already made a batch of meat sauce the other day, so we're using that same one. You can always go on youtube.com, look for Nivin's space cuisine, and you will find the bolognese and the marinara. So we're using meat sauce, meat tomato sauce today. So basically the bechamel sauce is one of the very basic French sauces, but it's also used for other cultures other than French. And you have the butter. This is a stick of butter. I'm gonna melt it. We're gonna have flour, about 1.5 cups, and 3 cups of milk. I like to use whole milk because it just tastes fuller and nicer than fat-free and all this other stuff. Bechamel sauce is wonderful. It's fluffy. It's creamy. So basically, you're gonna have one hand with your whisk. Your butter is melted. You're gonna start throwing the flour in slowly, mixing it really fast with butter. You also got your parmesan, some salt, but you gotta taste it first after the parmesan because parmesan is salty and you don't want it to be too salty. Also have an egg, because after the bechamel is done and we turn the stove off, then you add an egg and beat it up, makes it nice and fluffy and custardy. Now we have the milk. You're slowly gonna add a little bit of milk while we are whisking the flour and butter. A little bit at a time until it's all nice and creamy. Nice thick sauce. It's thick, but at the same time it's pourable. So make sure it's not too thick, because after we get our moussaka, the eggplant, and the meat sauce layered, this is gonna pour nice and easy on top of it. And then we're gonna broil it and give it a nice golden brown top. So I would say about 3 cups of milk, 1 cup of flour, 1 stick butter. Keep stirring until all the lumps of the flour are gone. It's getting there. You just got to be very patient. Keep it on medium heat, medium to low. See, the lumps are dissolving. Add a little bit more. There's another very simple dish. You can have it for breakfast or lunch. Croque Monsieur, which is a slice of toast with a slice of ham, a slice of Swiss or Gruyere, and then you have bechamel on top, and then you broil it until nice and golden. That's the Croque Monsieur, but the Croque Madame has a fried egg on top, or a poached egg on top. It's delicious. So many things you can do with bechamel. It's also the base of cheesy sauces like mac and cheese. It's the same thing. It's flour, it's butter, it's milk. Well, it's getting there. Keep it nice and bubbly. Then I'm going to throw in a cup of parmesan. Stir it up. Yummy. Some cracked black pepper. And I will taste it before I add any salt, because the parmesan is salty enough. Maybe a little hint. A little bit of sea salt. A couple of teaspoons. Whisk it again. The parmesan is melting nicely. I'll put a little bit more milk. So about 3.5 cups. Also, nutmeg is another characteristic ingredient of bechamel. 1 teaspoon would be good. Yum, yum. I love parmesan in anything. my kitty cat, Mr. Dickens, is hungry again. Hey, honey, come here. Stay away from the hot stove. Now it's time to, that's a little bubbling. Let me turn the stove off, crack an egg, and the egg helps it layer and get fluffy and custardy, and it's fantastic. I'm gonna whisk it in really good, so it gives it that nice, rich, yellowish, golden gratin. All right, now it's time to assemble our fantastic moussaka. So we got a pan, could be any kind of pan. This is a non-stick pan that I love. I've had this for over 40 years, believe it or not. I'm gonna put a thin layer of the bolognese sauce at the bottom. The smells coming out of this kitchen now is yummy. Then we're going to arrange the eggplant, the bottom of the pan. You can also make moussaka with sliced potato if you can boil them first and then add it, so it'll be slices of eggplant, slices of potato, and so on. Get a nice bottom layer here taken care of. Then we're gonna go put another layer of meat sauce. So basically the recipe that I have on my YouTube channel is good enough. It was good enough for a spaghetti dinner, 4 people, full meal, and now the other half is for moussaka. Then we're going to put the last layer of eggplant. When I was young, I hated eggplant. Now I love it in all sorts of ways. Most Mediterranean cultures use eggplant in their main courses, side dishes, salads, dips, you name it. So we used up our tomato sauce. We used up our eggplant. And now it's time for the wonderful creamy bechamel sauce. And we're just gonna let it pour nice and easy. Hands are slippery. There we go. Let it cover the entire top. See what I mean? It's nice to have it pourable that way, so it's not too thick. You just basically make sure the top is covered. 350 degrees oven till everything heats up together nicely. I'll say 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna put it under the broiler for a nice golden surface. See you in a bitty. Look at this beauty. It's out of the oven, and I had a nice broil for a nice golden top. And time to slice it up.